Why are you so worried about taking a little bit of a risk to leave that job and go into that business? Just work hard at it. What's up, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're talking about 7 keys to leveraging the compound effect. We are talking today about how to leverage the compound effect. Listen, there's this magic called compound interest, where when you invest money over time, if you're receiving compound interest, it can be amazing to see the results. Well, I'll tell you what, compound interest also works with compound interest on debt. If you're borrowing money at high interest, it can lead you down the path of destruction. That's the same as life. There's something in life called the compound effect. And if you understand it and you know the rules of the game and you keep your head down, leveraging the compound effect will change your life, whether that's in business, in health, in relationship. You can call it whatever you want to call it. There's a million different terms for it. For me, I call it leveraging the compound effect of life. Here's the 7 keys. Let's get into it. Number 1 way to leverage the compound effect in business is to take quitting off the table. Take quitting off the table. I know so many people that I've come across, whether it's in life or in my business, who have quit along the way. There's a lot of people that have quit on my business or from my team. I bless those people when they quit. You need people to quit. But you know what? The people that quit, they're just quitters. The people that quit your business, the people that quit your life, they were already going to quit. They were always going to quit. They told you that they wanted to win big. They told you that they were going to win for their 2 or 3 or 4 kids. They even cried at your desk. They cried over a FaceTime call, but they were never going to do it. See, what you need to realize is that an airplane is off course 99% of the time. And your job is to keep it on track as much as you possibly can. But if you haven't decided that whatever you're after, whatever you're sinking your teeth into, if you're still looking over the fence to see if there's something better, man, people jump around in my industry for like an extra 5, 6%, 10% contract, when really long term, they're completely crushing their opportunity for a better life. Don't quit. Remember, a quitter is always a quitter. There's something powerful when you seal your mind, when you shut the door. And I'll tell you what, that's the first key. That's the first key to leveraging the compound effect. Number 2, you need to build your dream on paper. You need to build your dream on paper. Listen, those that lose are the ones that are reacting to life. But the winners, they anticipate. The winners have a game plan. Now, if you're watching this and you're telling me, oh, Steve, I'm winning at a high level and I don't have my dream put on paper, that's great. Congratulations. You're just not leveraging the compound effect. You might be winning, you might be growing, you might be making money, you might be living your dream, but you're not making as much money as you could be. You're not living the dream that you could be. You're not where you could be. You're further ahead than you were, but you're not where you could be. I'm talking about creating a blueprint. I'm talking about building your house on paper, your business house on paper, because you're going to be the one that's going to be selling the vision. You're going to be the one that's casting the vision. Part of leveraging the compound effect is knowing exactly what you're trying to build on paper. That's part of it. It's where your God-sized dream goes. Listen, I want to be clear. You can still win without it, but you're not going to be leveraging the compound effect to the true potential that you could be. Number 3, the third way to leverage the compound effect. Crush your weekly goals. Crush your weekly goals. Listen, this is everything. For me, I break it down into mini tasks, mini to-dos, right? I have my to-do list that I write before bed. I got my power list right before bed, and then I wake up and I review it. For me in business, in my kind of business, let me tell you what my mini tasks were per week in business. For me, it was all about meeting new people, meeting new customers, doing new appointments. Listen, activity is activity. I'm a results guy. I needed to make sure that I was going to get a certain amount of results so that I could pay my bills. I back engineered those results to a minimum amount of new appointments a week. I knew that if the big vision was going to happen and I was truly going to leverage the compound effect of life and in business, that I had to do my weekly tasks. I'm going to tell you, Most people get crushed on their weekly tasks. Do you understand that if you have a goal to do 10 new appointments a week and you only end up doing 7, right? You think that you just missed it by a little bit, but you compound that out 1 year, 2 year, 5 years. That's it. That could be the difference between you building your business for 20 years or you having to work until the day you die to pay your property taxes on your house. You don't see it. The difference is so small right now, it's hard to measure, but the compound effect is going to work for good. It's also going to work for bad. You know, I always equate it to playing golf. I'm not a great golfer, but the hardest part for me in golfing is my drive. Why? Because I'm so enthusiastic with my drive off the tee that I typically swing pretty hard. Well, when I hit my golf ball, the first 20, 30 yards, if you're standing behind me, it still looks like the golf ball's heading on the fairway, right? For a lot of you entrepreneurs right now, you're hitting it every single day, you're doing your plan, you're coming to meetings, and you know what? On paper, maybe from afar, it kind of looks like you have a business. It kind of looks like you're busy. But I'll tell you what, the further that golf ball goes, the more it's off course. In fact, 200 yards down the fairway, I'm usually right close to a house or on a house. So what's the difference? Well, the difference is that I wasn't squaring the club head. My tasks, right? Whether my swing, my mindset, maybe everything to do with golf, right? It looks pretty good from the outside looking in, but as soon as I hit that ball, right? 4 or 5, 6 seconds later, it's completely off path. That's the same thing in your life. That's the same thing in your business. You have weekly tasks. You have daily tasks. And if you aren't accomplishing those exactly how you need to, you might think you're on pace, but 5, 10, 15 years down the road, you might still be living in your parents' basement suite. You might end up in your 40s with less than 400 or 500 grand saved, right? You may end up in your 50s and you still have a mortgage. You might end up in your 60s without a couple $1,000,000 saved like you should. It's crazy to think how the compound effect takes place on the weekly and daily tasks. It's super important. Number 4, the fourth way to leverage the compound effect. You ready? You need to be patiently dissatisfied. Patiently dissatisfied. Look, we all know what's not working, right? You think about it all the time. You think about all the people that are quitting or all the negative people in your life. You think about the weight that you can't lose. You think about the money that you don't have. Hey, we are professionals at thinking and focusing on all the things that aren't working. But let me ask you this. What is working? What is working? Where is there an opportunity, right? What could the possibilities be? You know what? At the end of the day, you can't be a victim and expect to win big. You can't be a victim and expect to win big. If you're the kind of person that puts a little bit of work in and then at the back of your mind, you're like, oh, I'm not making enough money yet, right? The team's not where it needs to be. And, oh, I'm working. You can almost hear it in their voice. I'm working really hard. The ball should bounce in my court at some point, right? I mean, that whole nonsense about being a victim, that's just not going to work. That is actually crushing the compound effect. Feeling sorry for yourself does no good. You got to be in the trenches. You got to make sure you're focused on the right thing, and you got to be patiently dissatisfied. Look, you have to make sure your bills are getting paid. Pay your bills. But other than that, as long as you're doing the right thing in business, as long as you're focused on the right thing, patiently dissatisfied. Patiently dissatisfied. That is somebody that's in a hurry, but also understands that there's going to be a little gap until the results come. Number 5, the fifth way to leverage the compound effect. You ready? Document the journey. Document the journey. It's so important for you to get above your business or above your health or above your relationship and look at it from 30,000 feet. Whether it's a journal, right? This morning I wrote down a self-imagery this morning, right? Whether you use a journal, whether you vlog like me. One of the reasons I have a YouTube channel, one of the reasons I'm on Instagram, I'm on these social media platforms, it's for me. It's for me. It's my litmus test. I'm able to look back by documenting. I'm able to look back not only on how far I've come, right, but all the changes that I wanted to make and how I present and my energy and my speaking and the influx of my voice. I just want to get better. I'm a freak to get better. A lot of people, they don't want to journal. They don't want to document the journey. They don't want to be on social media. And one of the reasons they don't want to do any of that stuff, they're so afraid to evaluate where they're at. Their self-awareness is so buried somewhere with delusion that people are so scared, and I do it sometimes too, right? Why would I want to take a selfie with regards to my health without a shirt on in the mirror, even if the picture is just for me? Why would I want to take that picture if I'm not serious about working out? I don't love the way I look. I'm just going to kind of bury that and put a shirt on and not do that, right? And by not documenting, I'm not accountable. Documenting the journey is accountability. Yeah, it's a lot of work to be on social media. It's a lot of work to be on Instagram. It's a lot of work to have a YouTube channel, especially when you're running a multi-7-figure business, when you have 3 kids, when you have severe Crohn's disease, you have a hierarchy of, over 400 licensed agents. Yeah, there's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of moving parts. I'm busy too. Okay, but if you don't take time to document the journey one way or another, you're not going to be able to leverage the compound effect. Part of leveraging the compound effect is going to be your ability to look back to see how far you've come. And that's going to come from, again, documenting the journey. Number 6, my 6th key to leveraging the compound effect in life. Work so hard it's obvious. Work so hard it's obvious. You just look at some people and you wonder if they think that work ethic is going to get them to where they need to go. If they think that mindset, right? Or even if that diet plan or workout plan, you just wonder, is that actually going to get someone to where they need to go? And for the most part, 99% of the time, we all know the answer. So what's the key? Just work so damn hard that when people watch you, it's just obvious that you're going to win. It's obvious that you're not going to quit. It's obvious you're going to make 6 or 7 figures. I had one of the gentlemen the other day ask me who's making 6 figures, just asked me a little about himself, and I was giving him my reflective opinion. And one of the things I said is, listen, I'm not surprised you're at where you're at. You've been working so hard. It's been obvious to me that the results were going to come. Anybody that I have in my business, whether they're earning 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, or even 50 grand, it's so obvious to me that people that make money, it's so obvious to me, right? The relationships that last, or the people that get healthy, or the people that, have thriving relationship with their creator. It's because they work at it, and they work so dang hard that it's obvious that they're winning. Listen, you can't leave anything to chance. Nothing. If you're watching this video and you're the kind of person that needs to wake up every single morning and have somebody else motivate you, I don't know. You're not acting like entrepreneurship's for you. You're acting like a 9-to-5 job is for you. See, you think that 9 to 5 is easy. 9 to 5 is not easy. 9 to 5 is hard, right? Entrepreneurship, what you think is hard, is actually easy long-term if you can work so hard that it's obvious. See, you think a job is easy because you're just not willing to work that hard. Well, you're going to have to pay the piper down the road. You're going to have to pay the piper down the road. You're going to have to face the music. So I'm going to challenge you. Work so damn hard that it's so obvious that you're going to go and win. Why are you so worried that it's not going to work out in business? Why are you so worried about taking a little bit of a risk to leave that job and go into that business? Just work hard at it, and something good is going to happen. Man, you got to inoculate yourself from pansyitis, as I call it. Go to work. Number 7, the 7th key, in my opinion, to leveraging the compound effect, you got to give it time. If you have the right axe and you're cutting down the right tree and the axe is kept sharp and you're applying the right amount of pressure, then as long as you keep swinging, that tree is going to fall down. So instead of occupying a whole bunch of space in your brain, worrying and wondering and fearful, and that same pattern that you've probably had for most of your life, instead of getting caught up in that pattern, why not just forget about the idea that it might not work out? And why not just go to work and keep swinging that axe and give it time? You have to give your business time to compound. Man, I've been an entrepreneur for 15 years. Most of my buddies, when I started, told me that I was totally ridiculous. We just spent a bunch of money on university. We got a business degree that did absolutely nothing for me in terms of moving my life forward other than learning how to cram for exams and work with people in groups. Other than that, it didn't apply at all to entrepreneurship. But most of the people that told me I was never going to amount to anything, most of the people that told me my business wasn't going to work, guess what? They're still doing the same thing. They're still saving the same money. They're still jumping from relationship to relationship or career to career, or they're still doing the same career, but they don't really love what they do. They have that little voice in the back of their mind every single week going, am I going to do this for the next 20, 30 years? Is this my legacy? Is this what I was born to do? And they deal with that every single day. Why? Because they want it easy. They weren't willing to work hard. They weren't willing to swing the axe. They didn't want to put it on paper. They thought dreaming was cheesy. Well, who's laughing now? 15 years later, we're nowhere where we want to be. But I'll tell you what, one thing we did right is we gave it time. We gave it time. We were doing the right things every single day, but we gave it time and we let our efforts compound. And as a result, listen, we're not living the perfect life. We're just living the life that we designed. We're living a life of purpose, on purpose. I appreciate you guys being here today. Please take a minute, share this with a few people that need to hear it. Give it some love, like, and for sure subscribe if you haven't already, and leave me a comment. I'd really appreciate it. I hope you guys crush the rest of your month. I hope you crush the rest of your year. And remember, the compound effect is always working behind the scenes. Just make sure it's working in the right direction. Have a great day, everybody.